Hello, fellow horror fans. Well, our look at the Halloween franchise is almost coming to an end, but that's going to happen tomorrow. So, as for today, we're going to be looking at Halloween 2007. That's right, Rob Zombie's Halloween from 2007. So, here we go. On Halloween in Haddonfield, Illinois, having already exhibited signs of psychopathic tendencies, 10-year-old Michael Myers murders a school bully, his older sister Judith, her boyfriend Steve, and his mother's boyfriend Ronnie. Only his baby sister, Angel Myers, is spared. After one of the longest trials in the state's history, Michael is found guilty of first-degree murder and is sent to Smith's Grove Sanitarium under the care of child psychologist Dr. Samuel Loomis. Michael initially cooperates with Loomis, claiming no memory of the killings, and his mother Deborah visits him regularly. Over the following year, Michael becomes fixated on papier-mâché masks and withdraws from everyone around him, even his mother. When Michael kills the nurse as Deborah is leaving from one of her visits, she is unable to handle the situation and commits suicide. Jeez, that got dark. For the next 15 years, Michael continues making masks and not speaking to anyone. Loomis, having continued to train Michael over the years, decides to move on and close Michael's case. Later, Michael escapes from Smith's Grove, killing the sanitarium employees in the process. He kills the truck driver for his clothes and makes his way back to Haddonfield. On Halloween, Michael arrives at his now abandoned childhood home, where he recovers the kitchen knife and Halloween mask he stored under the floorboards the night he killed his sister. Bom bom bom. Meanwhile, Laurie Strode and her friends Annie Brackett and Linda Vanderklok prepare for Halloween. Throughout the day, Laurie witnesses Michael watching her from a distance. Later that night, Laurie goes over to babysit Tommy Doyle. Meanwhile, Linda meets up with her boyfriend Bob Sims at Michael's abandoned home. Michael appears, murders them, and then heads to the Strode home, where he murders Laurie's parents, Mason and Cynthia. Dr. Loomis, having been alerted of Michael's escape, arrives in Haddonfield looking for Michael. After obtaining a handgun, Loomis attempts to warn Sheriff Lee Brackett that Michael has returned to Haddonfield. Loomis and Brackett head to the Strode home, with Brackett explaining along the way that Laurie is really Michael's baby sister, having been adopted by the Strodes following their mother's suicide. Huh, I thought they would save that revelation till the second movie. Well, guess not. Meanwhile, Annie convinces Laurie to babysit Lindsay Walls so that she can meet her boyfriend Paul. Annie and Paul return to the Walls home and have sex. Michael kills Paul and attacks Annie. Bringing Lindsay home, Laurie finds Annie on the floor, badly hurt but still alive, and calls the police. Michael attacks Laurie and chases her back to the Doyle home. Loomis and Brackett hear the 911 call over the radio and head toward the Walls residence. Michael kidnaps Laurie and takes her back to their old home. He tries to show Laurie that she is his sister, presenting a picture of them with her mother. Unable to understand, Laurie stabs Michael before escaping the house. Michael chases her, but Loomis arrives and shoots him. Recovering, Michael recaptures Laurie before she can leave and heads back to the house. Loomis again intervenes, but Michael subdues him. Laurie takes Loomis's gun and runs upstairs, but Michael corners her on a balcony and charges her head-on, knocking both of them over the railing. Laurie finds herself on top of an unconscious Michael. Aiming Loomis's gun at his face, she fires just as Michael awakens. And that's how the movie ends. So anyway, let's look at the production of this movie. On June 4th, 2006, Dimension announced that Rob Zombie, director of House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects, would be creating the next installment in the Halloween film series. The plan was for Zombie to hold many positions in the production. He would write, direct, produce, and serve as music supervisor. Bob Weinstein approached him about making the film. Zombie, who was a fan of the original Halloween, jumped at the chance to make a Halloween film for Dimension Studios. Before Dimension went public with the news, Zombie felt obliged to inform Carpenter, out of respect, of the plans to remake his film. Carpenter's request was for Zombie to, quote, make it his own. During a June 16, 2006 interview, Zombie announced that his film would combine elements of prequel and remake with the original concept, and insisted there would be considerable original content in the new film, as opposed to mere rehashed material. The BBC reported that the new film would disregard the numerous sequels that followed Halloween. Even though it's a remake, it should just be its own thing, so yeah. Anyway, Zombie's intention was to reinvent Michael Myers because, in his opinion, the character, along with Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and Pinhead, had become more familiar to audiences, and as a result, less scary. The idea behind the new film was to delve deeper into Michael's backstory and add, quote, new life to the character. Michael's mask will be given its own story, to provide an explanation as to why he wears it, instead of having the character simply steal a random mask from a hardware store, as in the original film. Zombie explained that he wanted Michael to be true to what a psychopath really is, and wanted the mask to be a way for Michael to hide. He also wanted the younger Michael to have charisma, which would be projected onto the adult Michael. In addition, he decided that Michael's motives for returning to Haddonfield would be more ambiguous, explaining, quote, why was he trying to kill Laurie, or just find her because he loves her? That's a really good question. Moreover, Michael would not be able to drive in the new film, unlike his 1978 counterpart, who stole Loomis's car so that he could drive back to Haddonfield. The Dr. Loomis character was also to be more intertwined with that of Michael. Zombie reasoned the character's role in the original was, quote, showing up merely to say something dramatic. Yeah, that's kind of what Donald Pleasance did when he played the character. Although Zombie added more history to the Michael Myers character, hence creating more original content, he chose to keep the character's trademark mask and Carpenter's theme song intact for this version, despite an apparent misinterpretation in an interview suggesting the theme would be ditched. Production officially began on January 29, 2007. Shortly before production began, Zombie reported that he had seen the first production of Michael's signature mask and commented, quote, it looks perfect, exactly like the original. Not since 1978 has a shape looked so good. Filming occurred in the same neighborhood that Carpenter used for the original Halloween. Awesome! On December 19, 2006, Zombie announced to Blade Discussing that Dag Farich, I guess is how his name is pronounced, sorry if I butchered that, would play the part of 10-year-old Michael Myers. On December 22, 2006, Malcolm McDowell was officially announced to be playing Dr. Loomis. McDowell said that he wanted a tremendous ego in Loomis. It was out to get a new book from the ordeal. On December 24, 2006, Zombie announced that Taylor Maine, who had previously worked with Zombie on The Devil's Rejects, would portray the adult Michael Myers. Maine stated that it was very difficult to act only with his eyes. Scott Taylor Compton endured a long audition process. Dr. Zombie explains, quote, Scott was my first choice. There was just something about her. She had a genuine quality. She didn't seem actory. She was one of the final people to be cast for a lead role after Farich, Maine, McDowell, Forsythe, and Harris, as in Danielle Harris, who played Jemmy Lloyd in Halloween's 4 and 5. A contest was held for a walk-on role in the film, at the time called Halloween 9. It was won by Heather Bowen. She played a news reporter who covered Michael's arrest, but her scene was cut from the film and does not appear in the deleted scenes. Oh, that sucks. But, what you gonna do? So overall, I say this is a pretty unique take on the series, and for what it's worth, it's not all that bad. I mean, yeah, some of the changes were kind of hit or miss, but I'd have to say there are a lot more hits than misses, so, yeah. So, overall, I give Halloween 2007 4 jack-o'-lanterns out of 5. We'll join in tomorrow as we wrap up our look at the Halloween film series with 2009's Halloween 2. So, until then, peace out, everybody.